With The Force Awakens now 4 months away, I was saying to myself, yeah, I should do some Star Wars reviews quite soon. So let's start with The Phantom Menace. And just so you guys know, I'm not a Star Wars fanboy, so what I'm about to say in this video is not because I'm attached to the original trilogy or I love the original trilogy, but I'm just reviewing this film simply as a film, really, so let's do this. So admittedly, it wasn't until this year I actually sat down and watched The Phantom Menace all the way through for the first time. I'd never seen it all the way through before because I just never saw it, I only saw bits of it, so I finally sat down sometime this year and I watched it, and yeah, it's not very good. I'm going to start out with the good in this film, and first off, Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson as a Jedi, how can you not buy that? I mean, Liam Neeson can play any role ever and he would add credibility to it. He can play a lion, he can play a guy trying to get his daughter back, he can play a guy trying to negotiate with a talking teddy bear about a kid cereal in a supermarket, and I will buy it 100%. And in this film, I will say he did play a good Jedi. I mean, he has the Jedi voice, he has the Jedi stance and all the Jedi moves. He's an awesome Jedi in this film. And I will say that some of the action does look okay. I mean, I can't really remember too much of it because it was a few months ago since I watched it, but what I do remember, some of the action sequences looked okay and not horrible to look at. But now let's get to the fun part. Let's talk about the bad stuff. Opposite to Liam Neeson, the rest of the cast in this film I thought were either serviceable, okay, and just not good in general. I mean, Ewan McGregor in this film, I was not impressed by Ewan McGregor. I mean, he just looks really stoic all the time, like, yes, master. Yes, and he did not impress me that much. I mean, anyone could have just stood there and go, yes, yes, Mr. Jin, or whatever he said. I can't remember what he said, but the rest of the cast, Natalie Portman, she was okay in the role, I guess, and everyone else, blah. That's what I've got to say to the cast in this film is blah. But now one of the big letdown to this film, I think, is the film's over-reliance on CGI. There is a lot of CGI in this film. I guess for the time in 1999, I guess it was good for the time, but since I'm watching it now, I can't really say they're the best special effects I've ever seen. I mean, and plus there's so much of them just thrown on the screen all at one time. It's just like Transformers. I mean, I'm not comparing it to Transformers or anything. I'm just saying it's like so much CGI. You're just like, okay, I'm not looking at anything real right now. They just had so much and all these big things in space, and it's just hard to actually buy into it all. One thing I want to point out, and Chris Stockman said this in his Phantom Menace review, so I'm not copying off him, I'm just agreeing with his point and just highlighting it for me as well. But a lot of times this film, the actors are in like a green screen or blue screen or whatever colour screen environment, and it's just hard to like evoke emotion out of the actor when they're just surrounded by blue and green screens and they're trying to be in some kind of big space courtroom or something like that. So I know Chris Stockman said it, and I just wanted to say it as well because I was like, you know what, he's onto something, so I just wanted to point that out as well. But okay, let's get to it, guys. Mr. Jar Jar Binks. What was George Lucas thinking? That was one of the things I was dreading going into watching this film for the first time, because everyone talks about Jar Jar Binks and how he's one of the most annoying characters like in cinema history. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna hate Jar Jar Binks, but I might be that guy who's like, hey, he's not that bad. Oh, he's just that bad. Oh my. Mr. Jar Jar Binks, me needs to follow Mr. Qui-Gon Jinn all over the place. Mr. need to all this stupid humor. Jar Jar Binks has got to be one of the most annoying characters in a film ever. Ever. He is just so irritating, and the fact that they just force him and shove him down your throat, that sounded weird, but the fact that they force him all over you, it's just unbearable sometimes. I mean, the humour in this film is just so stupid, and when it gets to the final battle as well, like, you have the Phantom Menace battle inside, but you have the Jar Jar Binks drone battle and all the Jar Jar Binks creatures fighting the drones, all that horrible, crappy, frigging slapstick humour. What is this? I mean, it's like a 5-year-old did it. Oh. So yeah, by far the biggest weakness of this film is definitely Jar Jar Binks, so I do gotta, yeah. Which leads me on to my next point. The Darth Maul lightsaber fight was pretty entertaining. I mean, it was cool to watch, but it was kind of bogged down by the fact that it kept cutting back to that horrible Jar Jar Binks stuff. But yeah, the Darth Maul stuff, cool. Darth Maul looks awesome. The #1 character at children's birthday parties that face paints Darth Maul, and awesome. So in the end, Phantom Menace, yeah, I do see why a lot of people bash on this film, but me not being a Star Wars fanboy, I'm not like offended by how bad this film was. I mean, Liam Neeson is the only good actor in this film. Some of the action was okay, but the rest of it is just over-reliance on CGI, horrible Jar Jar Binks slapstick, horrible whatever he was trying to do. And yeah, that's pretty much it. All that is just outweighs all the positives. So this is my first Star Wars review. I'm going to try to review all 6 films before episode 7 comes out. I don't know how often they're going to be. I'm just going to try to do them all before episode 7 comes out. So I have 4 months, so I think I'm alright. So what do you think of the Phantom Menace? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Whatever your thoughts are, tell me down there. And if you like this review, be sure to click here to join the Nation of Stuff.